Welcome to the Mill Experience, fellas. I'm so honored you guys coming. I will watch you guys for years. I respect you guys, man, especially for the topics you have, the guests you have, man. You always keep me, man. When I'm working at night, your podcast is the ones I'm watching. So it's an honor for you guys joining the Mill Experience. Thank you.
Well, I don't get to watch it at night, but while I'm driving to work and driving from work, I'm listening to you. So y'all keep me up.
We appreciate that, man.
Definitely. Yeah. Humbling, for sure. Appreciate that, brothers.
So, when I was doing my research on you guys, I see a lot of your blogs and everything, with the guests you have, and I want to know more about you guys, Ogod and SamAnt, you know what I'm saying? So just tell me about you guys, man. Tell me about the origin of you guys and how did y'all came to starting Hip Hop Uncensored.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is a lot of people don't know that we're cousins. So we've been together since birth, you know what I mean? And the funny thing is we've been best friends since birth too. We've always kind of had this thing together where we were mimicking either wrestling or we were mimicking something we seen on TV at the tag team. We'd have a lot of barbecues growing up because it was my house, our grandparents' house, and our great aunt's house. So it was almost like when they say a village raises children, we literally had like a village. We had our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles, and we lived together in this small area out in South Jersey. So our imagination and us together is what we had. We had barbecues outside and we'd be playing the old heads and we'd have each other's back, you know what I mean? It didn't matter how old, how strong, how tough, how talented. If O and I were together, you know what I'm saying? We knew we could beat anything. So as we grew up and became men, obviously going and doing our separate things and going our separate ways, that always remained true. And once it was time to really get this started, it kind of, panned out and was always kind of destined for us to do.
I could see the connection. I didn't know y'all was actually related.
Yeah, I thought y'all probably met in school or something like that. But this is my brother Terrence. He's going to be the co-host today.
So we understand exactly where y'all coming from. Yeah.
Word. That's what's up.
Yeah. I know y'all guys are big hip hop heads, just like me and my brother. What's y'all age range? I'm just interested in that. What's y'all age range?
As far as demographic that watches the channel, I think it's about from maybe like 24 to maybe like 55, but like 24 to like 30, 40 being like the highest. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? About that, yeah.
So for you guys to get started on this podcast, like what made you guys want to do it? Is y'all see other people being successful at it and figure you can do it? Or did you guys go to school for like communications? Because y'all on top of your game, man. And how long y'all was doing this?
This is going on about maybe 3.5 years right now. At first, I'll tell you a little story. I started off on something called Blog Talk Radio. That's why I kind of got my feet wet and started to, because it takes time to develop yourself to be able to talk for a long period of time. So I started off with another couple people. We had a small little radio show and it just grew. And one day, individual was like, man, you should take it to YouTube. So took it to YouTube. And really ever since then, man, like it's no other platform out there, I think, that compares to YouTube when you're talking about is bringing people to your product, your service, or as we do a podcast. So started doing that. Then I kind of branched off and focused on particularly just hip hop. And I started off, I would actually, I was interviewing him. I would bring him in and ask him about different topics. And, it started kind of catching on the videos. He was like, we got something here. Yeah. So I had a platform prior, maybe like a year or so prior, Hip Hop News Uncensored. And I told him like, man, let's rock out. Let's do this thing together. And it kind of, naturally, evolved. Once he put up Viral Hip Hop News, his channel, he was doing the Hip Hop News as well. He was like, you know what? Let's bring this thing together and form Voltron. We can still do our separate things, but we bring it together, man. We could be somewhat powerful, together. So that's like the, the short version of kind of how we got where we at today.
Y'all rappers or anything? Do y'all do that on the side? Y'all can spit or what?
Nah, it's funny because I'm a singer. And I've always sung my whole life. I was an R&B singer, and that's how O kind of introduced me to the media side of things. Because he would interview me because I was in a group, an R&B group at the time. I just came home from California, had to do some songwriting and stuff out there, but I had a son at home, and it was really kind of affecting me not being near my son. Like I didn't care about the fame, I didn't care about how much accolades I was getting. If I wasn't connected to my seed, it wasn't anything worth doing. So coming back home and kind of getting back on my feet. O had this plan. He was in the media game doing this thing on Blog Talk Radio. And it's funny because my cousin was always kind of quiet, you know what I'm saying? And when I seen him ripping on the stage and hearing him on the mic, I'm like, whoa, it blew me away. And I gained a whole new crazy respect for him that he was really putting in work like that. So I'm the older cousin, but it immediately made me and turned me into a student. It's like, nah, I got to learn more about what my cousin's into and what he's doing because he's killing it right now. So as he started interviewing me, being in an R&B group, and me seeing that the work ethic that I was bringing into the table with the R&B group wasn't really the same thing being brought back to me, but I seen my cousin killing it. It was only right to go, yo, bro, teach me, man. I'm learning. I'm a sponge, man. Teach me. And he gave me the game, and I mean, I'm glad I ran with it.
You guys seem like y'all get news before I hear about it. You know, like with DMX, I didn't find out he died until I saw you guys post it. I was on vacation. I didn't find out he passed until I saw you guys post it. Do your guys have some type of, like, how should you say it, a source? Or y'all just going off what you see in the media, anything, you just go ahead and post it?
Well, we got both. We do have, you know, certain sources that always send us different things, let us know sometimes a little bit early, but we also do it the other way around. You know, we just try to, we jump on it as fast as we can because we understand how YouTube works. We understand the algorithm, and that when something happens that's in our genre, that people are going to want to know about that. So we put ourselves in position as being the news for that. So we stepped out on faith. We quit our jobs and everything years back. And we said, we're just going to focus on doing this. So if something happens, this is my job now to report it, you know what I mean, to the people. So that's all we do, man, is just, you know, just try to get it out first, be as accurate as possible. Not always first, but as early as possible, as accurate as possible. And just, you know, just try to, you know, do right by the people, because a lot of people do it a different way. They disrespect people. We just be respectful in the way that we give our message out. So, yeah, but it's a little bit of both, but more so just reading and staying abreast of what's going on in the hip hop community.
What were y'all doing before y'all decided to do this?
I was actually detailing cars. Actually, I had a business. I always kind of, you know, since I was like 18 years old, even younger than that, I always was like, I started off sounding like body oils, those Muslim oils, purses, credit repair. So I was always kind of, you know, trying different things and failing a lot early on. I got fired from a lot of jobs. And at one point when I was like 23, 24 years old, I took a leap of faith and jumped and started a detailing business, which was semi-successful. But when that went under, I pretty much, you know, got a job at a dealership, working underneath like one of those subcontractor companies that they contract the work out to. And it was just pure hell, man. That, I mean, going from working for yourself and going for working for somebody else and just not treated right, not getting paid, you know, right amount of money. It was like a low point I can remember where a guy was like, I need you to clean, you know, some stuff out of my car. And he said it was like baby poop. It was dog shit in the car. So I'm like, my dad would always tell me, he's like, man, if you don't develop work ethic, now you're gonna be you know, cleaning up dog shit or cleaning up shit the rest of your life. And that it kind of rung there with me, you know, at that moment. I'm like, no, what, I got to do better. So that's what I was doing, man, really detailing cars.
Yeah, and the last 10, 11 years prior to me getting into this, I was doing a lot of security work. I was doing bouncing and things like that in the casinos. I was doing a lot of executive protection work. I was a lot heavier than I am right now. In my 20s, I was sitting at like 240, 250. So I was, it was very easy for me to get into that lifestyle and that genre in the casinos in Atlantic City. So, yeah, I was buff like you brothers. Yeah, it was real. I got pictures. I'll prove that shit. I'll send y'all some pictures because I got them. All right, that's a fact.
Was it a good 240 or a bad 240?
It was a little bit of mixture of both. You know, I was lifting. I was always conscious of my of what I put into my body, but at the same time, I was living the lifestyle. So I was drinking. I was eating at all kind of weird times at night. I wasn't eating the right things. So I know it could have been a lot healthier and a lot cleaner. And I know naturally my body is probably a lot more keen to sit at about 190 to 205. So I was like, you know what? Once you get out of that arrogant phase to where I know personally the muscles was for the women and all that nonsense, I need to be healthy. I'm content being at about 190 to 205. But yeah, back in my 20s, I was rough like y'all brothers. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I worked in Brigada in a nightclub, and it was great for the first couple of years. But then I got into the life where it started getting dark. You know what I'm saying? And I had a child, but I always knew that it was something more for me in life. Like I said, I was a singer. I was always one to really articulate myself well. I would win writing contests in school and stuff like that. So I knew it was more than just securing and dealing with nonsense in the nightclub or looking at racism in the nightclub and or protecting somebody that I should be sitting neck and neck or side by side with when I felt like talent where it came and that was concerned. So it was a rough outing for me. I started really kind of cheating on my son's mother at the time, really getting wild in my life. So it was really a lot of turmoil for me at that time. And I didn't feel appreciated. You know, I was making this money and it was fast money. It was cool money, but I felt like I wasn't content with it. And I was watching from afar what my cousin was going through as well. And I'll never forget it because I remember when the Space Jam Jordan 11s came out one Christmas, right? And they were not easy to get. They were like $225. I got them on the sneaker app and they sent me 2 by mistake. So I was like, word, come up Christmas time. I can spend some money for my kids. I put them on sale for $300. My cousin hit me. It was like, yo, I want them. I'm like, yo, cuz, you know, I usually get these motherfuckers to you for free, but I need this 300. It got to be 300. He said, bring them to me. I said, okay, word. So I go to the mall. It's pouring rain outside. He puts them on right there in the rain. I'm like, whoa. Like, I'm afraid to take them out the box. He's putting them on in the rain. Like, no fucks given. I'm like, bruh, whatever you selling, I want in. I'm down. And he was like, nah, bruh, I'm into something different. And that's when my life honestly changed forever. That dad gave him Space Jams in the rain, man. He told me what he was going on, and we never looked back.
Okay.
Y'all guys, man, y'all represent what we represent. F being humble, be hungry. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what I like about you guys, man. How do you guys get your interviews when you first started out? And have you guys ever been someone tell you they do one thing but end up not coming through?
Shit. All the time.
Y'all laughing because y'all know what I'm talking about. Cause I hit y'all up about this.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Especially in the beginning, how we starting out. Especially in the beginning, was it difficult? Cause it seemed like you guys get legendary interviews now. But how was it in the beginning for you guys when you just starting out? Like how we doing? Cause now I'm a year in the game right now. You know, and I'm building it up. I'm building up, but I'm still getting, you know. Yeah, so.
Yeah, we get people, man, that always flake on us. You know, we definitely always take it personal, but you know, the biggest names to the smallest names, people show up late, things like that. That's why we always try to pride ourselves being on time, you know, here. And as far as the interview, like how we got them, we sat back, you know, probably sometime last year. We weren't even in this location yet, but it was like, you know what? We're going to try to get another building, get an actual studio and just push these interviews like crazy because we understand, like, we've been through a lot of changes on YouTube. If you don't know YouTube, it changes like every other second, like a woman. Like it's always changing. They change this, they change that. So we had to adjust with that. So we said, you know what? We want to, you know, put out 100%, you know, original content. That's what we want to do. 100% original content from here on out. We don't have to worry about anything when we do it like that. And that's what we did. And we said, all right, we're going to go in. We're going to hire somebody, which we got a young man from one of the local colleges, our publicist, Victor. We're going to give him the game, show him what to do, give him, you know, the lanes of how to hit these people, hitting their, you know, contacts, and send out 1,000 emails a day, you know, 2,000 emails until they start coming back. We always knew with marketing anyway, it's always a numbers game. If you hit 100,000, you might get 20 or 25, you know what I mean? Or whatever, or 100 or, you know, 1,000, 10,000, whatever the ratio is. So that's all that we do. And really just one person does it, man. And he hits people up, they hit us back. And, you know, we do the interview and try to do our due diligence in the interview. And then it helps that, you know, our platform is already established as well, you know, and, you know, years prior building it up where people will want to come. It's just like anything else. If they can see they can benefit off of it, they're going to come and want to be on it. You know what I mean? So there's no real secret to it, man. Just grinding and hard work in the numbers game.
Yep. We don't have an issue with Vlad other than if you're going to report the news, be transparent or hold yourself accountable. And it sometimes it seems like he doesn't hold himself accountable in certain lanes. Do we think he's a fed? We don't know. but we don't. we don't know. But is there anything personal? No. At the end of the day, we respect what he's done in this game. You don't get to 4.2 million subscribers or wherever he's at right now by sitting on your ass and getting lucky. It's some work that has to be done to get to where he's at right now. So we admire that and are able to study that from afar. But at the end of the day, not only is it that, it's competition. You know what I mean? We've always kind of prided ourselves to being the best at what we do. And we know we're building this from the ground up. We didn't get beat up by Rick Ross. We didn't have a failing rap career. We didn't do anything for us to have some kind of light on us to gain some steam off of in this media game. We built it from the ground up in the woods of Elwood, New Jersey. So we, as far as competition, is just like, nah, we feel like we're the best and we'll take our lickings and keep getting knocked down and we'll keep getting back up and showing y'all that y'all got something to look at when it comes to the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. So mainly it's competition, man. It's nothing more than that.
And my thing with him is like, again, like, you know, I definitely admired what he did and built his platform and everything, but it's how he would throw a rock and hide his hand in a way, like the Casanova interview, like different interviews, different way he would question these people, you know, and then he would, you know, at the same time use other people to act like you didn't, to question them, to try to get them, you know, locked up, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, indicted. And it's already been proven. And I never did the video because I didn't want to seem like I was a hater, that they already been looking into his interviews with different indictments. The main one, the Casanova indictment, they looked at his interview and they got information from that interview to indict him. You know what I'm saying? And he sits back and act like it ain't real, and it is. So that's the only issue that I really have with him. I don't care what he does, because honestly, in hip hop, the way YouTube works, you know, somebody else's success is your success. Because if his platform is popping and we might just be interviewing the same people or the same type of topics, then that's going to boost your platform up as well. Like, they go back and forth between different platforms. So it's not hurting us. He could stay around all he wants, but that was our only problem. We had to call a spade when it came to the interview style and getting these brothers hemmed up, in my opinion.
Now, Grant, I agree with everything you said. Everything you said was right. But are we going to hold the individuals that goes on his platform and telling on themselves? We're going to hold them accountable? Got to.
You got to, because a lot of people that come on here, they think that we the feds and they real tight with they shit, tight-lipped. Yeah. And I promise you, we don't ask nearly as crazy questions that they may be asked on other platforms, because we come from real places and have seen and dealt with real things. So we try to keep a certain level of respect when it comes to that, even though we are media and we know the juicier it gets, the more views it gets. But we try to always keep ourselves to that level of accountability. But when they come on here, they tight-lipped. So they can do it. But I don't know if they're getting sauced up before they get on there or if something else is going on. But you definitely got to hold yourself accountable. If you don't say it, they can't show it.
One thing I noticed about y'all don't just stick to hip hop. Y'all speak on certain issues going on in society, specifically the police shootings. What are your thoughts on it, and what are the solutions?
You know, it's rough for me when you talk about that, because I think it's a deep-seated issue, you know, when it comes to the way that the whole, you know, and Dr. Boyce Watkins touched on this yesterday, the whole thing was set up, the way the policing thing was set up from the slave patrols. And who were they, you know, running down, you know, making sure we didn't gather together? It was Black people, you know what I mean? And I think that when you construct something that way, it's kind of hard for it ever to be for benefit. Now, there may be good police officers in there. They see things going on. They don't do it like other people, but I can guarantee you every police officer seen something like, damn, that's some crazy stuff right there. And hopefully they go out their way to try to, you know, make it a better, but I don't think it's nothing that can be done from the inside. I think that it maybe, you know, the whole institution may have to be torn down and reconstructed in a way where it's really meant to serve and protect the people and not patrol or control, you know, Black people. And that's all I kind of see it, you know, for. Now, again, solution, we need a whole, you know, it has to be revamped, the whole way that policing is done, in my opinion. Because I think right now it's just, you know, you're riding down the street, they pulling you over for a tinted window, they pulling you over for a license plate, like, you know what I mean? Meanwhile, it's crime going on up the street. You know, it became more about money to me than really protecting and serving it, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a sensitive situation because, like I said, when in the industry I used to work in, I used to have to work with police because obviously they were brought into the job, and I would run into some very good brothers and have good conversations with them and see what they were doing in the community and see what kind of change they were trying to make in the city of Atlantic City. And that could be admirable. But at the same time, as I'm driving through my own hometown, in a town that I grew up in and never committed any crime and was a pillar in the community and the school, I'm getting pulled over because of a late registration by a day. And even though, yes, I broke the law and I deserve a ticket, I don't deserve to get my car towed in front of my family, in front of my home, and then have to wait 2 weeks to get my car back. A little thing. It's just little things that make you kind of go, damn, why? And then when you see what's going on out here, make no mistake, we don't get manipulated and caught up in what we see in the media all the time, because we know that there's an agenda to cross lines and to stir up emotions. But when you deal with things personally, and Ogod and I both have numerous stories that we can deal with, it gets kind of like, okay, when is it going to change? When is it going to stop? Could it be me out here that can be in a disagreement with a police officer over a license plate or a tinted window, and he decides to pull out on me and where we're at with our children? So how do we change it? Man, I wish I had the answer to that question, man. And this is why we kind of try to open the door to even like police officers, in particular Black police officers, to get their perspective on what they're going through, just to gain more understanding, because we don't got the solutions. And the only way to do it is to communicate with somebody on the inside and ask them real questions. And if they feel like answering, or they're comfortable answering or not answering, it's on them. But we allow them the platform to get their truth. And man, all we can do is have conversations like this, brother. That's all I can really say on.
Yeah, I understand where y'all coming from, but realistically, it being like totally destroyed and revamped, if that does happen, it's most likely not going to happen in our lifetime. We won't see it. But do you think that encouraging or having more familiar faces in law enforcement could change it somewhat, as far as having more Black faces? Obviously, there are some Black cops that aren't doing what they're supposed to do either. But it seems like the narrative when it comes to us in the Black community is that being the police is wrong. Whether you're from the hood or not, it's wrong. So with that narrative, you're going to continue to have the same people get these jobs. Because we grow up being told that that's the worst thing you could possibly be. So obviously, if that's the mentality or the narrative that's being promoted, then we're going to continue to have the same thing. Do you think that could possibly help the situation?
Well, I'll go real quick. I'll pass it over to you. I think the reason why you have that, though, to kind of answer that first part of that, is because of the history with the police. You know what I mean? And how, back when they started and through the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all that up to now, how they treated, Black people and minorities, and even some white people. And that's why people kind of stray away from that, because they almost put themselves in the position as the enemy of Black people. But the familiarity part, I would say, is huge. Like, if you got cops rolling up and down the street that they know your children, know your family, know your girl, whatever, then they're less likely to pull a gun out and shoot you. You know what I mean? But you got cops in our area, you got cops that never lived in the area, don't know nothing about it, but they come to the inner cities where Black people are and get these jobs because the cops make very good money. You know what I mean? How do I know that? Because earlier on, I was going to be a cop. I actually tried to get the job. I just didn't get the job in my early 20s. And they showed me like the pay scale and everything at the time I did an interview. But yeah, I just think that at the end of the day, like, the familiarity, maybe you have to grow up in that neighborhood to be a cop. I think that could definitely help. Would it be the end all be all? Probably not, but it could definitely help in my opinion. Yeah,
to kind of extend on what my cousin said, it's needed. And I can understand from a brother's perspective or sister's perspective how difficult a situation like that could be when they're walking into a situation where they've heard their whole life that we don't mess and we don't fuck with the police, don't get involved in that. As soon as you put on that uniform, you're not Black no more, you're blue. Like Ogod said, or like O said, he was, say that one more time, sir.
Sell out, coon.
Coon, yeah, absolutely. And it was funny because we was joking. Even before we got in here, we was talking about it. We was like, what would you rather? I'd rather get pulled over by a Black cop any day, even if he was a sellout or a coon. At least he can understand something in me. Like, shit, please. Like, you looking somewhere in you, brother. Please. But I was trying to be a cop as well out in California. I got a lot of family out in the Bay Area, so I was going to be. I was putting in the application and going through the process in my early 20s as well to be a police officer. And I'm glad I didn't get through with it. And I'm not kind of putting anybody else away, because mentally where I was at and sensitivity kind of transitioning from kind of being a kid that really I understood what was going on because we were taught, but I was naive to what really was going on. And I was beginning to really learn what was going on. I don't know if I could have handled all that and had a badge and a gun at the same time. So I'm glad that I didn't, but it's very important. It's very important for the kids in the neighborhoods to understand that that person that's sitting behind there isn't automatically their enemy and isn't automatically going to put a gun to their head or throw them behind bars because they're filling a quota. We don't have that relationship, even with the black cops, and we need it. It's important. I don't know if there's something that black cops can do in the area to where they can get in youth or get with the youth and kind of promote better things and put a better narrative on policing and things like that. It's definitely important. And we know it's good cops out here and they're dealing with a lot of nonsense and they're needed right now. And it's just tough, man. I give it to any black cop that's out here doing their thing right now and trying to do it because y'all job ain't easy.
Yeah, just to piggyback off that, like my brother was pretty much thing he was saying was like, you know, for you to be the change, go in and be the change. You know what I'm saying? No different what Jay-Z did with the NFL. You remember he went in with the NFL, everybody was giving hell about that, calling the sellout. But he was changing with the NFL. He was trying to change he was attempting to change what the NFL was doing. But let's lighten it up a little bit, man. You know, there's all this cop talk and Vlad and all that stuff. Let's lighten it up a little bit, man. Let's have a little fun, man. This round right here is called, you know, lightning round, where I just ask you little simple questions, man, and just answer the best of your abilities, okay?
Let's get it.
All right. So, psychology states there's only two emotions, being loved and feared. Which one you guys rather be?
Definitely love, man.
Yeah, love without question. I don't need to be feared. I'd rather have men and honest speaking people around me anyway. Love.
What is your biggest fear?
Honestly, heights.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, brother.
But if you want to take it to like a real, you know, like probably leaving Earth without leaving a proper legacy behind for my kid. You know what I mean? That's probably like my biggest fear. Like honestly, but like if you just ask me on the surface, it's heights.
Yeah, mine would be on the deeper surface, disappointing my children. I do all this for them, and I don't play no games when it comes to that. Because legacy is very important to both of us, and it's very important to me. So that on that level would be that on a damn. I love it. I'm a vegan, right? So I don't really eat animals, but I don't really fuck with animals either. So like, I want to go to Africa and experience that, and I want to see all that, but don't put me around no animal that I know can get the better hand of me. It don't matter which one. I don't fuck with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
What's your top three?
Woo! Damn, man. That's so hard because we interview a lot of people, so it's hard to even remember who we interviewed last week. But man, that's tough, man. You gonna go first?
You know what else is crazy about it is when we say this all the time, we need to go on vacation. We need to enjoy the fruit of our labor and success because we have our head down so much from building these platforms to making sure the news came out first, to making sure we did it the right way, to trying to be the best at interviews. We just have our head constantly down. So to even let you know who we've interviewed this year, like off topic, is tough. But ones that pop out to me right now that just are popping out are definitely Joseph Marcel from the Fresh Prince. That was a dope one, just kind of sitting there and watching him on our screen. Lisa Ray was a great one.
Oh, yeah,
Dame Dash, Jay Prince. Anybody that we kind of looked at from afar and was like, wow, like we've had on our list. When we're about to click that link and they come on and we kind of finally get to see them, it's an honor. It's humbling. So I'd say those.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing, man. I mean, I agree with you.
Raven Simone.
Yeah, Raven Simone. That was a great one.
Yeah.
Out of all your interviews, which one you ever came out really had you like thinking like, wow, that was powerful?
Really the Mark Cuban, just recently. It just got so much game from. Not that we didn't get game from other people, we got a lot of game, but it just had me thinking a whole different way, you know, about life. You know, and I was just recently that interview, but there's so many of them that I could, you know, down the years that really, you know, changed it. But just being able to talk to a billionaire and seeing that, all right, we kind of like on the right track here. So first becoming a millionaire, then moving up. Like people put like so much on it, you know what I mean? But to have confirmation that you're like kind of like on the right track, I think that was big for me that day.
Indeed, that one, and I'd say Cassidy because we did obviously we've been big Cassidy fans our whole life. We did some news on Cassidy we picked against him. We picked him in a battle, and then we had to be real with him in that Goods battle, and we thought that he may not fuck with us after that. And when he came on, it was the opposite. He was so humble. He was cool. He said he was fans of ours. We gave each other our numbers. We chopped it up. He did the song, the Hip Hop Uncensored song that you guys hear. He did that off the strength for free. Didn't take a dime for it. So, you know what I mean? He just rocks with the platform. So definitely, I say coming out of that casting interview, I was like, damn, this brother's humble and he's cool for real. I'm never gonna say another bad thing about him. I'll be honest about it, but never anything bad.
There you go. Yeah, definitely on that Mark Cuban one, piggyback off that one. I think that was big for you guys. I thought the same thing. You just said, oh God, you got a billionaire on your platform. That's big. That means he see you guys. That means he respect you guys. So I thought that was big for you guys. That's a good look. Fun little thing. Okay, you stuck on the island. What 3 things you bringing with you?
A gun, some protection.
Time out. You bringing a gun for it? Just y'all 2 on the island.
I mean, I was just animals and shit out there. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, it's me and O? Just me and O on the island?
Yeah, y'all 2 stuck on the island.
All right.
What 3 things that you cannot live without? 3 things you can't live without, you bringing with you on the island.
Shit. Obviously need water. Would that count as one? Water?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean.
Some women.
Yeah, whatever. That's important, very important.
And
water, women, and water, women, and weed. We got that shit. We'll make it work.
Your top 3 hip hop artists, and don't say Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, and Pop. No, cause everybody, man. We want your top 3.
You said don't say Jay-Z.
Don't say Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, and Pop.
Whew, that's hard as hell.
Exactly.
Shit. Let me go. Y'all might not like what I got to say, man, but I'm gonna go with Fabulous,
Okay.
Jadakiss, and T.I.
Man,
I got you on Jadakiss and Fab, but okay. T.I. cool. He's cool. What about you, Sam?
Redman,
Okay.
Busta Rhymes,
Okay.
and Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
so y'all just gonna leave him out?
Yeah, y'all gonna look. Y'all, what about Eminem?
Yeah, I mean he's in there somewhere, but he's not in that motherfucker. Nah, don't y'all funny as hell.
Yeah, man, I'm a big M fan, man. That's why I love to work out to Eminem.
You like working out to the recent joints?
The Eminem.
No, not the recent ones, man. Not the recent ones. I'm an Eminem fan, but his recent stuff is kind of garbage.
We feel the same way though. M deserves his flowers, man. If anybody got M in their top 5, I'm not mad at him.
Nah.
He's just not in ours. And we were big M fans growing up with the first Slim Shady LP, and I forgot some of the other albums early on, but they were hitting. Eminem was definitely, he was hitting hard. But I think that you gotta, if you're gonna continue to put out albums, like Busta Rhymes is a perfect example. That Supreme Level Event 2, Extinction Level Event 2 was fucking fire. In my opinion, that joint was fire. M can come with the same level of intensity and still appreciate and satisfy his fans of old and his fans of new. But he seems like, in my opinion, he's trying to prove something to the critics. Fuck him. That's work.
So let me ask you this: you still in the M conversation? Do you agree with Lord Jamar said about M being a guest?
Yeah, we had a few. You know, it's a lot of obviously white people, Hispanics, and even other races of people that are around hip hop, that were around, you know what I mean? But if you talk about the people who built it, the core people, it's like a black thing, you know what I mean? So I would definitely say, yeah, you know, he's a guest. Even though we let, you know, all the other races take over, you know, as far as like the executive side, it's still like at the core, like, you know, a black creation, just like a lot of other stuff, in my opinion. Definitely a guest.
I'll give him a little more respect than that. I think that he's a guest, but I think that he deserves to have a seat more than some of these artists we see out here now, putting out some of the shit that we see now. Or whether that be black or white, because he put in the time. He put in the time on the streets battle rapping. He slayed battle rapping. He was doing his time in Detroit amongst other black artists. So he put in his time. Now, he said some slick things throughout his time as fame that made you kind of cross your eye and look at him like, hold on. But if you look at his entire body of work, yeah, he's a guest, but yes, he's also deserved his seat at the table. Without question.
Last question. When it's all said and done, how do Ogod and SamAnt want to be remembered?
Well, I just want to be remembered, as somebody who didn't give up, somebody who, put his family in the best possible position to succeed, you know what I mean, after I'm gone. That's all. And people can, remember you and, just never kind of let your spirit die. And, you can live on again, really, through your children and whatnot. So, and leaving that legacy, but mostly is leaving the legacy behind, like Kobe when he died, or like with Nipsey, when they died, they left a legacy behind where it's like that family is great, for generations to come, even like somebody like Jay-Z. So to be able to do that, man, will be how I would want to be remembered.
Definitely. And on the other side, the greatest to ever do this. The greatest to ever do this. We grew up admiring Jordan. You know what I mean? We admired Ali. We admired people that went against the grain in their respective areas of greatness and were great at it. Kobe, like my cousin just said. And when we were out there playing dirt, playing in the sand, and we were competing, whatever that was, we were competing to be the best, whether that was against each other or whether that was on each other's team and doing our thing. And I think that's one of the main things that push us is we got all these platforms and the competition, even though it's healthy and it's with ultimate humility. We ain't out here going, ha, my stuff's better than you, ha, my stuff's better than you, because when one wins, we understand we all win. So there's victory in that. But the competition aspect of it really drives us to be greater, and we understand that. So when it's all said and done, when you look at what the Breakfast Club has done, when you look at what Vlad has done and what other podcasts are beginning to do, we want our names to be right up there with them. We want our names to understand, the people to know that, yeah, these brothers came from the ground up and did something great and shocked the shit out of us every now and again. So yeah, they were the best at their craft. That's the ultimate goal.
All right, Sam, look, before we go, I'm gonna put you on the spot, brother.
What do you think, brother?
You say you're a singer, right?
Yes, I am.
I need an acapella.
What you I see us in the park, strolling a summer day, and in my head, I forgot the words, but I'ma kill this shit anyway, and I'm gonna give it to you. But I don't wanna bore you with my troubles. It's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet. It's something about your love that makes me weak and knocks me off my feet.
My man.
I do this,
My man, you
wanna
did
hear
that,
me sing,
brother.
man?
My man. Okay.
Now,
Well, hey guys, I want to thank y'all for coming on the Miller Experience. Hey, I respect you guys. I love what you do. I want to know more about you guys. That's why I want to interview you guys.
Anytime.
Give you your flowers right now. You know what I'm saying?
Anytime.
Thank you guys. Respect. Thank you for coming.
Nah, we definitely appreciate this, man. This is probably one of the first, maybe second time somebody reached out to us, and we love to tell our story. So appreciate it, man. Anything we can do to help y'all, man, we here.
Do y'all have anything y'all want to promote, give a shout out to, or give your website out?
Nah, we good, man. Check out the podcast, Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, and all that good stuff. We on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We everywhere.
Okay.
Indeed. Right. Appreciate everybody that's out here rocking with the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast, man. And thank you very much. We here. We doing our thing. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Thank you, man. God bless.
Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Miller Experience. Comment, like, and share. Comment, like, and share. Comment, like, and share.